to see this really great reading by Kim Vodicka, Josh Stevens, and first up, Taylor Gorman. Just to give a brief little plug for our weekend of sales event. Saturday, tomorrow, is our 4-year anniversary for your birthday. So we're gonna have cake here. It's gonna be 25% off of books, and all proceeds are gonna go to Americans for Responsible Solutions, Gabby Gifford's organization for gun control. So both Saturday and Sunday that's happening, so please show up and celebrate with us, that'd be awesome. So our first reader, Taylor Gorman, graduated from LSU in creative writing, received his MFA from Wichita State University. His work has appeared in the New Orleans Review, Passages North, Cutbank, Cincinnati Review, and he lives in Austin, Texas with his cat. Please welcome Taylor. Thank you.
Thanks. That last part of my bio is the best, actually. The most important. I read about 5 poems tonight. I just want to thank Kim, there she is, for having me, because she's going through Austin, and thanks to Malvern. This first poem I wrote out of frustration because I was helping my friend move, and she was telling me, this was a while ago, that I was in a really pissy mood, and she kept giving me this lecture that there's 2 wolves inside of us, and that one feeds on your negative things, and the other feeds on positive things, and I was feeding the wrong wolf. She's like, you wouldn't feel as depressed all the time if you just fed the other wolf, because that's pretty easy to do. So I wrote this poem, I guess, out of frustration. It's called Animals. The thing most people don't know is that everyone is born with 2 animals inside of them. One animal is a wolf, or something like it. The wolf digs at your body. It scratches complicated Roman numerals on the inside of your rib cage. It's like being in a museum of a language you don't speak anymore. In the middle of the night, when you're deciding between a glass of water or a pill to live inside for the night, the wolf will even sing. The wolf will even dislodge your bones, bury them in your stomach, and unearth each weeks later, as if he's doing you a favor. The other animal, which is usually a group of animals, is different from person to person. Some people have a cluster of mice racing through their body as if they will find something at the end of it. Some have an anthill just above their intestines that crests below their heart. Some people have wasps, some people have a colony that makes honey. Get it? You thought you were born with a handful of spiders entombing the insides of you like an old god. Well, you're mistaken. There's something different. You don't have a second animal at all. You were born with a river inside of you, a body inside your body that keeps carrying you to places that you don't want to be. I can hear the rush every time you leave your mouth at the gate, every time you fall asleep. The water sounds like the static on the phone when you call to say that it feels, call to say that you feel like you're drowning. Well, I'm drowning too. What I mean by that is that the next time you're in a dressing room or in front of a bathroom mirror and you notice how worn your eyes seem, how much it feels like they've given up. Try instead just cutting your chest open. The water, however brackish or briny, will pour out onto the tiles of the floor. Notice the sound it makes. Notice the silt that follows after, and notice the wolf that hobbles out with no idea what to do. I used to run a poetry series in Baton Rouge, and it was called River Writers. And part of every monthly thing we had is I'd have a new poem about the river, and that was one of them. And this is the other. It's called Speak River. I kept looking for years. You were not in the forest curled under the roots and dirt, nor were you on the peak of a mountain. I wondered if the mountain could tell me anything if I had learned to speak wind, but the wind knew nothing. I thought about your mouth, how it was a verse I used to sing by heart. Then I went home, looking for clues in your clothes or your jewelry, anything you left behind. One day, you were just gone, and that was it. Some nights, I would stand in the backyard and hold an armful of moonlight to keep from weeping. I'd gone crazy. I found a broken telephone and repeated your number over and over with my fingers, moving your silver tongue as if it had something to tell me. I don't speak phone. I drove my car straight into the Mississippi and sank. I kept driving as long as I could, nothing. Again, all I found was what the darkness gave me. Eventually, I surrendered to it. It's when I realized I found you, river-shaped and mildly infinite, "You've changed," I said. "I never learned to speak, River. I'm not sure any of us ever do." Speaking louder, I said, "I've been looking for you, that you wouldn't even believe where I thought I'd find you. I told you that I was sorry, that I loved you and I didn't know how it came to this. You didn't take your necklace, your favorite t-shirt, you didn't take me. You didn't have to tell me why," I said. "You didn't even have to say for how long. Just tell me anything. All I wanted was the rush of your voice when I waited. I listened to your body press against the window. I could hear the crack in your voice. I asked if this is what you wanted. Of course it is," I thought, rolling down the window. "I swear I could hear you telling me about your day." I'm going to read 3 more, if I can find them. Got a fun poem about suicide. I thought would be good to read. It's pretty bloody and like gory and like Tarantino, so I thought Kim would like it. It's called Suicide Demo. When he wanted to kill himself, he decided to call it art. He took to the stage with a paring knife and started cutting himself apart. The crowd was in love. When the blood came to the floor, he noticed pennies floating in the puddle. Loose change fell from the gash, and the dollar teetered from the wound. He took the knife deeper and bled like a slot machine. Applause. Rolls of quarters fell out of him. He felt like he was running for president. The crowd started buying t-shirts with his name and birth year. They started taking bets. He knew what they wanted. He started pulling out his veins and unspooling himself as the cash flowed. The crowd started making disfigured bobbleheads of him, selling them for $30. He cut off a finger, and a rubber banded twinnies fell out like a drug deal. They loved him. They started throwing screwdrivers and hammers and saw blades. "Use those," they yelled. "Do it." He did it. He took a nail and hammered his wrist to a cross. Out came out checks signed by a stigmata. He pulled his hand free and placed an arm on the ground, elbow up, and he snapped it down with a hammer. And they fawned. They wanted to fuck him. He started hewing away and dismantling the bones, and out of his body came a miniature paparazzo with his camera. "Keep going," he said. "This is wonderful. I love it." The artist kept going. It was wonderful. Everyone loved it. An accountant started calculating his assets. The room was filled with iPhones recording his slow death. They really wanted to feel his pain, but they really liked that he was feeling it for them. Soon came house deeds, contracts, offers that was reality TV. And they trusted. He amputated a leg, and the New York Times reviewed it. Out of the blood came a Guggenheim, the key to the city, several book deals, and he kept going. He kept diminishing himself, beating away until he was only a stump. And everyone waited. He didn't have anything more to give. He could barely keep his neck without the money. "Could someone please kill me?" he asked through his remaining teeth. "I can't do it anymore." The crowd stares. "I mean it," he said, "only a stump." The accountant folded his briefcase, and the paparazzo took pictures of the crowd leaving as he returned to the man's body. Soon, it was just the man in the room, and later, only the room. 2 more to read. It's really sad. I had like 5 poems to read, and I still wrote it down. It's like I can't remember 5 things in a row. This is a true story I think we can all relate to. It's about falling in love with a washing machine. It's called Wash. The form his grief took was a washing machine. It showed up in his yard one day, so he let it inside and watched it drag its cables to his living room. "What do you want?" he asked the washing machine. He looked into his reflection in the black of its display. He felt himself darken. "Can you move?" he said. "I have to get to work." The machine beeped and blocked him from the front door. "Fine," he said. So he called in sick. He spent the day with the machine, tried to figure out its buttons. It all felt foreign. The machine looked like one solitary eye. "I'm not really in the mood to figure this all out," he said. He wanted the machine to talk to him. He tried asking it about its day, but all it did was beep. "Where are you from?" he asked. "How long will you be here?" But he moved from room to room. It followed, moving its body like clumsy sci-fi. Suddenly his life was tied to something he couldn't understand. Maybe all it wants is to do the wash. So he did the wash. He filled its mouth with clothes, found some detergent, and he shut the door. Machine washed cold, spin cycle. It beeped, and he found himself with a large quantity of burnt clothing. "This doesn't even seem possible," he said, "for so many reasons." He looked at the unconnected cables on the ground and shrugged. The next day he took it to work. "This is my machine," he said. He took it to work every day. He even opened up his cubicle to accommodate its bulk. He didn't feel so alone now. It felt nice having a washing machine. He started taking it to dinner. Table for two, he'd say, showing the hostess the tattered dress he had draped around the machine. He'd pour expensive wine into its open door, cut up its steak. The townspeople started avoiding him, as he never changed his clothes. He learned the basic mechanics of how the machine worked and kept it together as he got older. When he was diagnosed with cancer, he asked the doctor, but who will take care of her, gesturing to the box that had followed him to the hospital. He had weeks to live, the doctor implied. He shouldn't worry about that. But he did. He did worry about that. He wasn't sure if someone was going to go in and take her, they were going to make her wash in some form. She was going to go on without him, or be used as parts. He didn't know what to do. So he opened the door and he crawled inside. And I have one more to read. It is, I once moved around. I did my MFA in Wichita, Kansas, which is a terrible place you should never go to. And it really is terrible. And 1 year, I kept moving into bad places. Like I moved from one apartment to another, and then the owner of the place stopped paying the bills, so it got foreclosed on. And I moved to another place, and then that place had already had bed bugs, like when I moved in. And so I threw all my shit away, all these things, and I was so frustrated at the time it came to the bed bugs that I kind of wrote this out of frustration. It's about a bunch of insects crawling inside your body. It's called Insects. It figures the insects would come back. They came in through the windows, through the ventilation shafts. They moved their exoskeletal lives across the linens of your bed. They pushed their segments against your arm hair, moved past your shoulders, and placed their 6 to 8 legs against the cracks of your lips. They clattered past your teeth. They traveled through the rivers of your body and tear and tug in your marionette veins, splaying your hands, expanding your lungs, your jawbone. They communicate in ways that you, failure of evolution, can't. In the morning, they put your legs into your jeans. They comb your hair to the side, the way you like it. They tell your wife they love her. She loves them too. They read your son a chapter, and dim the lights, kissing him with the cracks of your lips. Nothing really has changed. If anything, things are a lot better now. As you fold laundry in the basement, a cockroach scatters in front of you, and you place your knees to the ground. You bow. Thank you.